I guess the biggest question I'd have, as I'm pulling this up, is when you're not playing well, what kind of goes through your head? Like, what does your self talk sound like? I guess that would be my starting
Uh,
point.
why isn't this thing working? Why did that not work? Why did this miss? I'm just questioning everything.
Okay. And is it because you don't know what happened, or is it because you're just like? Is it more like rhetorical?
It's more rhetorical because like I'm very confident that something will like land or hit or connect, and when it doesn't, it's like I genuinely get so surprised, practically shocked even, that it distracts from the next thing that happens.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. So, where would you say that this is like something that happens throughout these games? Like you're playing against Mui here. Are you? Do you go into this feeling like you're playing badly? Because like right now it looks like you're playing fine.
No. Yeah, no, I'm not playing badly off the bat, but you'll see more when game two comes around.
Okay, so let's watch both games because I think this can be good as a before and after kind of thing.
Right.
So like right now, like walk me through what you do here, what's going well, what's going not well, and yeah, how do you usually approach this matchup, just generally speaking?
Try to space my aerials and try to keep them at bay and like try to stomp them as much as I can because like stomp into side B or stomp into like aerial
Hmm.
separates them very easily. Like the definitely like killing Nana in like a couple hits is like a pretty good priority. Like you can literally like space a well timed forward air on their shield and they really can't do much of anything about it.
Hmm.
So that's what I try to aim to do and try to not do too many laggy things on the ground. Like F tilt's pretty good, especially downing a left tilt's pretty good because they can actually low profile the normal F tilt by crouching underneath it. So I have to be careful about that. But and what they're looking for, which I didn't realize until after this set, is they're looking for stuff to knock you down, which down smash, Ice Climber's down smash knocks you down at 0, and their dash attack knocks you down at 0. So those are like two of their biggest neutral tools besides grab, you know?
Yeah, like one's a launcher. Like dash attack is also a launcher, so it's one of those. Their dash attack is surprisingly spooky. Because getting popped up by them into their up airs and stuff is not fun. And then yeah, down smash is quite powerful. So I guess one of the things I'm interested in is why jump here. I know you got hit by the ice block, but what's up with this jump?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay. Do you think the jump is like the best play you can do there?
No, not no. It
Okay,
was just the instinct I guess I had.
makes sense. But yeah, you can see what I mean. Like she's had to go low because of that the ice cube, so you can just grab the edge here or like do other
Right.
stuff here. By jumping, you've like forfeited position. And then yeah, she's able to get back. Now, I don't think it matters. I think you would like kill her right away. But I'm just kind of pointing it out that like if our instinct is to like not is to like move away from them, sometimes that's one of the sometimes that's actually not that good against a wave dash character because they naturally go really far.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes. I
Okay.
mean, it's especially apparent against Luigi
Mm-hmm.
because he's like the most wave dashy character in the game.
Yeah. These two are probably second.
Mm-hmm.
See, like we kind of have that dynamic right there. Like you see what I mean? What happens when you get like kind of like you get clipped by this, and then when you get back on the ground, like when you get back into like kind of a position where you can like play again, she tries to pursue you, and yeah, like she still had it was a tiny wave dash, but just the momentum carried over on the walk, like right, so she's able to
Right.
chase like almost somewhat effectively. Yeah, so it's just something to be aware of. Overall, though, I would agree. Like, what do you think is the thing that changes? Because this is still going basically according to plan. What do you think
Yeah.
is it that changes in game two? Like compared, like if you look at this one.
Just how often I keep like missing stuff. Just in it's just like, yeah, just the previous game I was kind of feeling pretty okay about things, and then just suddenly all out of just nowhere I'm like, oh, miss a stomp, oh, miss a stomp, oh, miss a stomp. I'm like, what's happening? Like I don't feel like the tempo's changed, like they're not like adapting, like it's just I'm just purely confused.
Okay. So this one makes sense. Why up? Oh, I guess the up air is because it combos into the forward tilt, right?
Well,
Instead
it
of
doesn't
back.
combo, but it
Yeah.
deceives them into thinking they got hit by something strong when they didn't.
Okay. Is that better than just like taking the strong hit? Because you could have also back aired here.
True. I don't know.
Up airs
Felt like up airing.
I mean, fair enough. I feel like the higher power is valuable in the at the edge, especially with when they have both of them. But I mean, it's all good. The big thing I'm noticing here is that makes sense. And now I'm going to assume, okay. So let's walk through this. So we have this happen. Down smash, down smash. You get this up air, which is really good, into this thing here. So my question is why aren't we going over to where Nana is?
Because I can see Popo coming towards me.
Yeah, but we can go over him.
I mean, I guess? I don't know.
Hey.
I thought I had to go away, not go over.
Yeah, no. Again, I am not trying to be critical. So, like, I feel like we might be getting defensive, and that's not the purpose of this. This is more just to explore different pathways. Right? Just to, like, look at different ways we can play this. That's it. I'm just... that said, if you want to keep it more focused on the mentality stuff, we can. Because I think I have a pretty good idea of, like, what you playing this matchup well looks like. If you want, we can take a look at the next game. Yeah. It's up to you, because, again, I want this to work for you.
Yeah, I'd like to look at the next game.
Sure. Let's go ahead. So it's on Dreamland, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okie dokie, let's see what we got here. I never liked this character, fighting them.
I actually like fighting ICs typically.
Makes sense. Okay.
So, yeah.
That one there is execution. Like that's just missing a fast fall, and then she just happened to full.
But if you saw my face, I'm like, why did I miss this fast fall? Like this is the easiest fast fall of my life, and I missed it. Like how?
Because it's just the human. We sometimes just miss stuff. It's just how we are. Okay. Are you watching her right now, or you?
Definitely not her, because she went out there and hit me after down being like that.
I see the expression. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, good mash out.
Yep, that was another one. I'm just like, how? Stomp is a huge move. I don't understand how it's missing.
Yeah, but it's just the fast fall, because like it's huge, but like if we're starting it high to be safe from them, right? So that we have time for the startup frames to kind of like run their course, and if we miss the fast fall because of it, like that's all it takes. Like, see that one? That one was like those last two actually were both like perfect. Like they were very, very well positioned. You got that fair like exactly the way you needed it to. And okay, good. She doesn't make it back. Nana doesn't make it back, so that's good awareness on you that you don't have to go out and get her. I mean, honestly, I was expecting a lot worse from how you were describing it. Like, this doesn't look that bad at all.
Yet.
Okay. So where's the change? Or is it, I'll know it when I see it.
You'll know it when you see it.
Okay. Yeah, so that's all good. So, this isn't a wobbling allowed tournament, is it?
No.
You never know. Okay. I fear it was a little ambitious.
Oh yeah, I was really surprised I didn't touch the ground. So that's why I kind of just died.
I like, because you hadn't jumped in a while, I kind of figured that's what had happened, but I didn't. I was a little surprised by that one too.
Again, missed. Clear as day opening and missed.
I mean, it's just, to me, these are just like teensy mistakes. They're like, these are very understandable mistakes, I think, that can happen to just about anyone. Like, we sometimes just don't hit our fast fall the way we want to.
Yeah, and then I messed up trying to get off the platform. So that was annoying too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so now I'm down 1 stock to 3, and I'm just kind of like, all right, this sucks.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know. They're just kind of like, to me, this feels like it's just ice climbers are a grappler, you know? Like, they sometimes just do a bazillion damage. Like, they just sometimes do, like, insane damage like, when they get you. You've made a couple of mistakes. It happened. Like, you've made a couple of, you've missed a few fast falls. Your positioning, I think, was off by, like, a hair on one of them. These things happen. Like, these things happen. I don't see anything here that's, like, at least execution-wise, I don't see anything here that's, like, absurdly glaring. I think there's some decisions that could have been better, but, like, yeah, it's, in terms of execution, it's not the worst I've ever seen by far. I guess it's harder for us to keep focus on our opponent in tournament. There's more pressure on us. When you're finding yourself spiraling, what's good? Like, you said that your focus is on you, is pretty heavily on you.
Yeah.
But I think that's probably part of what's going on. By focusing so much on you, can you see why your spacing why it might be easy for your spacing to be off a little bit against someone?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And why is that?
Because my opponent's not my focus. They're in my peripheral.
Right. So, like, let's take a look at some of these moments, because I think there was one early on where it was just off by a hair, right? So, like, that back air, these ones are just the execution ones. It's like, I think this stock is when it starts to happen. Probably after this, I think. Yeah. Like, this is just, like, you probably had a good idea on where she was roughly, but then, yeah, she just kind of, like, moves out of, like, there's just something off with the spacing, because, yeah, I just don't think that we're aligned properly for that. Or, actually, no, it was the tree. It was the tree. And because she's in your peripheral, I bet you can't see that the tree has moved her.
Maybe.
Well, Wispy's blowing, right?
Right, I just don't take that into account.
Yeah. I mean, like, that's just one interpretation. Like, I'm not you, so I don't know exactly what happened, but it's just, I think that you can kind of see how that might be possible, right? Or do I sound crazy? If I sound crazy, let me know.
No, it sounds. I mean, well, they didn't move forward at all.
So they dash attack in the
Actually,
corner. Yeah, they dash attack.
yeah,
in the corner.
they were in the corner the entire time. They literally didn't move because of Wispy. So I don't know about that.
Yeah, fair enough. So we're just off then, right?
Yeah, seems like it.
Okay.
That's what it felt like for sure.
And then from here, like, or would you say that you realign your? Do you realign at any point during these games? Because right now you look on point.
I mentally probably no. I don't have any sort of like refocus. Once I'm like off kilter, it's pretty much over for me.
Okay. So why is it that being off? So let me think here. What is it about this set that kind of, do you think set you off so much? Because I don't know if I agree that like once you're off kilter it's all over, because we've had games, like we've had sessions where I've seen you play where it starts to like slip, but then we're able to bring it back pretty quickly. Like we had that Falco who was pretty annoying, but then, you know, for the next few games after against, I think, the Falcon and the Fox, like, you were fine. We also had that happen when we ran into Laud. So I guess my question here is, what makes this different?
Probably because it's my first out-of-state tournament in a long time.
Okay. So the stakes are higher.
Right, and like if I want to make it out of pools, I have to beat this person. And it's on stream, so I like want to do well.
Okay, so lots of things basically.
Yes.
Okay. What does getting out of pools mean?
Something I haven't done in a while that I don't know, I'm good enough to do that, I guess.
Okay. So it's a form of validation then?
I suppose so, though I know playing the game purely for validation does not work in the long run.
So, right. So if playing the game, so... If you're not playing the game for validation, why are we playing the game?
I don't know. I mean, I guess, yeah, it is to try to prove that I'm good or better than I was. Which I guess is a form of validation.
Yeah, I was going to say, that sounds exactly like validation. Do you think it's possible that maybe you're putting too much pressure on yourself?
Yeah. I don't know. I just deal with it. I don't, because I feel like if I don't put enough pressure, then I like stop caring, and then I really start just not trying or playing or wondering what's the point, you know?
Okay, so what is the point then? Is the point to just constantly be getting better?
Yeah.
Is it? I thought we were playing to have fun and like enjoy it while we were getting better.
I mean, I don't know. Sometimes the game is very hard to have fun with, but you can learn things and try to do better every time you play it.
I agree. So why would a tournament set be something that gets in the way of that though? Like, why does this need to be treated like so uniquely different? I mean, is it really that different than playing ranked?
It's quite different,
Okay.
especially when you drive 3 hours out to a tournament.
Okay, so travel time, fair enough, but the travel time notwithstanding, is there any like what else is different about it?
It's with people that like you're familiar with, like in like neighboring regions or within your own region,
Okay, and why
so
does
you
that?
don't have that anonymity factor.
So why does that matter though? And it's not like you play with an alias.
I don't know, and just because like sometimes I'll play someone that I struggled to beat in the past, or maybe it's a new player that I know is pretty solid and I'd like to beat them, kind of thing.
Okay. So how does the word? So let me. So how does So and has this approach worked for you so far? Like how often would you say this approach of like trying really hard works?
Um, I mean, it often motivates me enough to like at least, I don't know, give a damn or something, to like try to kind of put my best foot forward and not just completely give up, kind of thing. So like it sometimes does really well. Like 2 days after this, I entered a local that was, 10-minute drive, my local area, local, and lost round one, but then won 5 sets in a row,
Oh
and then
damn,
got fourth,
that's
and
that's
played
really
the
good.
best that I've played against this Fox player that's always beaten me. So
That's really good.
yeah.
So what's different between that set and like that day and this day?
That's the $1 million question, isn't it?
Yeah, no, but like you're the one with all the information about this. Like you're the one who lived it. So like walk me through this. So you said it was a 10-minute drive away. So less travel time probably makes it easier to
Mhm.
not take it so seriously, I bet.
No, I still take it pretty seriously.
Okay, but
Even if, because like it's also kind of a sort of stacked local. Like it's not like it's easy. It's not like it's free or anything.
okay. So the level of play is quite high.
Yeah.
Okay. If you had to rate the level of seriousness that you took this tournament, like the one with Miui here, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not at all, 10 being extremely high, what would you give it?
An 8.
What about the local?
An 8.
Okay, so
They're the
no
same.
so
Yeah.
no so there's no change in level of seriousness whatsoever. Okay.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Well, what do you mean pretty much? It either is or it isn't.
It is.
Okay.
Yes, it is. Sorry.
So if level of seriousness is the same between both of them, fair enough. What about the preparation? So like you said this is a 3-hour drive. This is probably way more tiring, right? Like it's
The actual tournament or the drive?
the drive. Like you probably arrive here after 3 hours of driving. That's like that's a big deal. Unless well, is this a convention or is it like a
It's
tournament?
a convention.
Okay, so were you there the day before, or
No.
okay?
No, I drove up 3 hours, stayed there for six, then drove back 3 hours all in one day.
Okay, so that's a much bigger time commitment, I bet.
Yeah.
So that could be a factor. You're also more used to the players at the local. You probably played with them more. Do you like know them better? I know you said it's not really like friends in your region, but like, you acquaintances maybe.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm definitely more familiar with people in North Carolina than I am anywhere else.
Okay, so that could be a factor. Maybe it's more comfortable, right?
I guess so, yeah.
Um, what does your self-talk sound like when you're playing at the local? Because this one is all about like over here we've established this set is all about like how did this happen? How did that not hit? Yada yada yada. But what about the local? What does it sound like there?
Well, I mean, round one, it was. I kind of honestly, before the tournament started, I was kind of like, I only like made myself go because I hadn't entered in a weekly at that local like all month, and it was the last one of the month. So I'm like, Well, I'm making myself do this because I want to enter at least one of these weekly local tournaments once a month. So I'm just gonna do it. I don't care how I feel. I don't care if I play awful. I'm just gonna do it and play it and get it over with. And like round one, I play against a Falcon player I've never played against before, and he was surprising me by like dash dance camping me really hard, and I was not playing very hot, and I didn't start mentally bouncing back until it was way too late in game three. So I like lost, and I'm like, well, this sucks, and now I'm gonna just I don't know. I'll keep going. Like I'm not giving up. I'm like I'll keep going and see what happens.
Okay, you said the magic words. I'm going to see what happens. Those are my favorite. Those are my favorite words in the entire universe when it comes to mindset. Do you want to take a gander? Why?
Because you're not dismissive. I don't know.
They're not a prediction.
Right.
When we start thinking, I'm going to lose, I'm going to win, what we are doing is we are discarding the present. We are not looking at what is actually happening in the moment. Because we've already decided what's going to happen. And that's what we're basing our play off of.
Mm-hmm.
But that might not be what is happening on the screen. Do you see where that's a problem?
Yeah, that's where a lot of cognitive dissonance comes through.
Right. So when we are looking at the past is almost just as bad. Because when we are focusing on what should have happened, what we're really doing is we're saying that where we are right now should not be where we are. There should be like a different time. It's really like when we do should. What we are doing is we're just discarding everything that's like actually happened because we are defending our version of, like we're defending our prediction.
Mm-hmm.
But the issue with that is we have an opponent possibly playing a deadly grappler who is trying to kill us. And if we are not devoting our attention to dealing with that because we're busy defending our prediction, which was probably something that was like born not out of like, it's probably born out of just us wanting something like validation. It's born out of like an internal, like some kind of internal need or whatever, it's us. It's born out of us, not what's happening. Yeah, that's a problem. Like it's a distraction really. Yeah. And that, like, as we know, distractions are really impactful for tech skill. Tell me about the next set you played at the local. After you lost to this Falcon player, who did you go up against next?
Some random Falco player that's like new to the game or whatever, and like I still was playing pretty bad, but like still able to beat them. So I just kind of coasted through it, just kind of brain off in a way, because I knew I didn't have to like think that hard.
Is this it?
Yeah, well, that's the last two sets that I played. Those are the ones that were on stream. Everything else was off stream.
Okay. Which is the one that gives you trouble? This one or this one?
The bottom one.
Let's take a look at this. What normally about this guy gives you trouble? I'm sure I'll find out soon enough, but...
He's very fast.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. Like, he's moving quickly.
Yes.
I thought he was... I was like, wait, did I slow this down? And it's like, yeah, no, he's just hitting all his dashes. So, and I notice you're keeping up better. Like, look at the drift on that stomp. Now that is somebody who is paying attention to their opponent.
Yeah, like I said, I felt like this is the best that I played against this guy ever.
And this is for 4th?
This is for 4th, yes.
That's awesome. Did he comment on it after? Because, like, he's probably ranked, right? Like, he's obviously good?
No, he's not ranked, but he's, like, potentially he could get ranked in the next season.
Ah, so he's got, like, the wins. So he's got the wins to be in the conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really good then. This guy's obviously knows his stuff. Who won? Was it Zaza? Was Zaza there?
No, it
Okay.
was Zimberfizz.
Ah, okay, the other floaty.
Yes.
Yeah. I like, yeah, you just look so keen, you just look so aware. What do you think your facial expressions would be doing right now? You're not like you wouldn't be like
Nothing. There's no expressions.
because you're just focused, right?
Yeah, I'm just focused.
Do you know what the flow so when people talk about like playing well, a lot of times like the flow state comes up. Do you know what that is, or like
Yes.
have you heard that? Okay, cool. And so what is the flow state?
It's when you're completely undistracted by like anything, and you're able to perform pretty much to your best in like a flow state kind of way. Like you're not distracted by anything. Like everything at present, you're just fully aware of, and there's no emotional attachment to anything.
So I would say that's that's not the one that's not the definition I use, but it's close. Like it approximates it well. Mine's a little simpler. It's just the state of being completely immersed in the activity at hand.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's just complete immersion. So it might not be our best ever. It's just we're completely immersed in whatever we're doing, without any distractions. And I think that when we're focusing on execution, we're not able to, like, when we're focused on execution or defending our version of what should have happened, we're not really able to, like, reach that, are we?
Right.
So right now, would you say you're probably in flow state? In those games?
For this set, not exact. There's some parts. It didn't feel like I was in flow state the entire time.
That's normal.
But there's some situations where I think I was, yeah.
Okay. What like, could you point them out if they came up?
Yeah, I don't actually know about that.
Oh, we try. So Battlefield counterpick, he kind of like played pretty well game one. What's the set count on this? 3-1, 3-2?
3-2.
Oh, nice. You took 2. Well, let's go. Great DI, not getting popped. Okay, fair enough. Feel like this fox is gonna die in a second. It's 1. Ah, that's why you did that up there.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know, that looks like it could combo. Maybe not at that percent. But I believe. Boom!
He's not dead because he DIs shit really well.
Yeah. But that's just another, that's like one more hit though.
Yeah.
And I smell a hit coming. Okay. Nice. Good up air trade. I feel like... Okay. Hey, use that down tilt thing that we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
How's that been going, by the way?
Yeah, I've been using down tilt a lot more in kind of like neutral spots, and it's been good because sure it's been like a hit or miss sometimes, but like the fact that I'm doing it more as an actual mix-up, I think has been pretty helpful.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's a Ganon move, right? So, like, when it doesn't work, it's always... Like, when it doesn't work and the opponent gets the clean punish on it, yeah, it'll feel bad, but, like, when you get it, or they have to give up tons of space because they're aware of it, like, that's all so good for you.
Yeah.
Yep. So, think we're in flow state or now?
Pretty close to it, yeah.
Okay. And so right now, like, it's just, there's nothing going on in your head in terms of, like, there's no self-talk or anything. It's just all just
when I got hit by that get-up attack, I was like, oh, dang it. I wanted that hit, but I was able to move past it pretty easily.
And what allowed what why do you think you were able to move past it so easily?
I don't know, because maybe I've like fought this guy before a bunch, and like it probably is just a comfort thing.
Okay.
Like I felt comfortable playing. I never felt uncomfortable playing.
Oh, that was dirty. Let's go. I haven't seen that kill in ages. It's so sick.
Mm-hmm.
It's so. I think one thing that might help you with when you're dealing with unfamiliar opponents, especially if things aren't going your way, it might just be it's good to remind yourself that like it is super normal to have no to not know to sometimes not be comfortable against the opponent you're fighting because they're unfamiliar.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's super normal. You can you can embrace the feeling of discomfort without it being without it like being a criticism against you. It can be a chance for you to just kind of like acknowledge what's going on and then move past it, because I think that's kind of the difference between what's going on here and what's going on in the other set. In the other set, it sounds like you're really uncomfortable with some of the familiarity, but you're not allowing yourself to really like be like engage with any of it. Like you're aware the nerves are there. You're aware the nerves and discomfort are there because it's coming out in like how you're in your self-talk. There's something clearly bugging you. But because you can't acknowledge that it's just it's it's an unfamiliar environment. You don't know these people. You're feeling a little off because of it. Because you can't like engage with any of it, it just keeps lingering. Whereas with these ones, I think that what's happening is you're more equipped because you're able to acknowledge that, like it's a bummer that like didn't hit, but it's fine. Like we move on. You're just giving yourself way more permission to like move past things here. And I think that's really the difference maker.
Okay, well, I don't know how to give myself permission when it is unfamiliar territory.
You just say it. You just do. It's you just like I know I don't mean to be dismissive, but like it's not, it's really something that you have to do. Have you ever like why does that have to be something with a process? Like why isn't that something that we can just say is and then have it be so?
Because I'm trying to like think of it in a way where how can I practice this kind of thing, and like what you're describing is not like the situation that stuff comes up in is so infrequent that it's like, well, how do I'd like to be able to practice for something like that.
Okay. So what's something like unfamiliar, or what's something else that's like unfamiliar or that makes you uncomfortable, I guess?
Like
anything.
Games. Probably like a conversation about a topic I just either don't care about or is just like something about like politics or whatever. I'm just like, I just mentally tune out.
Okay, so maybe not politics conversation, but the thing you don't care about, why is that uncomfortable? I feel like that's more like just apathy, isn't it?
I guess. I don't know. It's hard for me to put it into words.
I'll try anyway.
I don't know. It's just much easier for me to like talk about things and express my opinion on things that either I have had interest in or have had experience in doing. So when like the topic is just something I don't know, then I just tend to just not contribute.
Okay. And do you feel like you're letting the other person down or something by like not contributing?
No, not really. I don't think I don't. Maybe I think I used to, and I felt like a long time ago I felt obligated to like give a response, but I learned you definitely do not have to do that. You just can just say nothing. You can just leave the conversation or just sit there and listen what other people have to say, maybe learn something from it.
Okay, that doesn't sound so bad. But what if like it's something that you don't like? Why don't you just tell? Couldn't you just tell them that like, hey, this is not something that that's really my jam. Maybe we can try a different topic because like yeah, I can tell you're into it, but yeah, I'm really can't. I feel like I can't participate.
Oh, because speaking out feels like conflictory, and I don't like conflict. I'm avoidant of it when it comes to social situations.
Okay. Why is that?
Because I've done it in the past, and it always makes me feel bad.
Does it always go badly though?
Yeah.
Really, every single time?
But based on memory, most of the time, yeah.
Oh,
I can't think of
memory's flawed. You know, you and I both know that. I get the impression that this is kind of like the root. This is kind of like the root of it. That was sick, by the way. I want to watch that again. Because really, I feel like you get, for some reason, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but I get the impression that you think that you have to be like capable in all things. Like that's the vibe I'm getting, and the reality is we're not. Like that's not possible. Nobody is able to be. Nobody that's an If I'm right about that, that is an impossible standard for anyone. Because we all, as a result of our, we're humans. We have different experiences. We have different things that make us us. Different strengths and weaknesses. So some people are really good at thriving in situations that are completely new. Other people are not. Some people can't stand being put into a situation that's familiar. Other people benefit from that kind of like comfort. So, and it's not really that you have one extreme or the other. You really have a spectrum, right? And where where you might be on the spectrum, like on that spectrum of like, thrives in comfort, thrives in novelty, there's just, yeah, like there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
So do I just accept the fact that like when I'm in the middle of tournament and I'm playing bad and I'm spiraling and I'm just kind of like mentally giving up, that's just like, welp, it's just a bad day, just deal with it, like you can't really do much about it, and you just accept that and move on? Like,
so it is in the accepting that usually a lot of that clears up. Emotions and feelings usually just want to, well, be felt. They want to be heard. So let's say that you are spiraling, right? In this set, you had moments where you messed something up. You acknowledge that that it kind of sucks that like that thing missed, that, whatever it was missed, and then you moved on from it. What do you think would happen if instead of saying that it sucks that missed, but whatever, these things happen, if instead of that we said that should have hit, it should have done this, it should have like done this, and then we held on to it, how do you think you'd play from that point on?
Worse.
Right. Because what's the problem? We're holding it, right? We're not letting go of it. What I'm saying is, in the Ice Climbers set, you're encountering a feeling that you're not you're encountering something upstairs that you're not happy with. And as a result, because you don't want to confront it, it's sticking with you. What I'm saying is, if you want to play well in those conditions, in those tournament conditions where like there's unknown variables, we have to be prepared to confront those things. I know you said you don't like conflict, but this is ultimately a fighting game. Sometimes our opponent's going to be us. That's just how it works.
Okay. Just don't know how to go about confronting myself in that situation when it happens.
So let's go back to that set then. So in this set, what is the moment that you are most upset in? Like where you can really just like see, like it's clearly in game 2, but what's the moment where things like start to like build to like kind of like a fever pitch?
Can you play the VOD in normal speed?
Yeah, sure. Let's play it in here. And it's in game 2, I believe, so there we go.
Like it's after I take her first stock.
Okay.
Because it's not just one moment. It's like one mistake after mistake after mistake.
But you can notice it happening, right? Like the build-up?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, good. Because that's really the key here. We just need to be able to tell that it's happening. And then we can interact with it. So is it that trade?
Yeah, because I thought I landed on the ground. So that was like one. Strike one, if you will.
But you still look like you're somewhat composed. Like things are still doing... okay. So like that...
Strike two.
Okay. So... And where does it get... Like, where does it get really bad?
I mean, me taking like 70% from missing one stomp like that is pretty annoying. So it just kind of gets worse. Gotcha.
So, let's back up to this grab. I think... So, why don't we try something different? Let's acknowledge how we're feeling right now. How are you feel? Like, if you could be yourself in that moment, what are you feeling?
Anger.
Okay, so we're upset. We're angry. Because?
That should have hit.
No. Let's look a little bit deeper.
Validation. I want validation and I'm not getting it.
This tournament means something to me. And I am nervous or upset. I'm nervous because I feel it slipping away, because I feel my odds slipping away.
The tournament doesn't feel that different from the hundreds of other tournaments I've been to. Okay. But it's still a tournament. I don't know. I guess paint it like that.
I mean, do you not want to do well? Like, I thought you said you were taking this seriously.
No, I do want to do well. It's like Etsucon's just another, slightly out of state tournament.
Yeah, but you haven't been.
I wanted to go and try to enter.
Yeah, but you told me that you also haven't been out of state in a while. So, like, that was a factor.
Yeah, I mean, like, in this moment, like, I want to do better than this.
There you go. That's all you have to say. That's all you have to say. So, I'm angry because I want to do better than this.
Yeah.
That's easy. And then from there, it's just, we take a deep breath. We breathe in. We acknowledge, I'm angry. I want to do better than this. And then usually at this point, the goal is to turn that anger, because that anger really just means we care. We've already, which we've confirmed with our acknowledgement. The key ingredient here is whatever happens, but I usually think it's a good idea to pull from something positive too. So we can kind of turn that anger into determination or something. Just get us focused back on the game. What brings you joy or like determination when you play this game?
When I get a big punish off of an opening in neutral or something. Like if I'm able to like punish like really hard, then that certainly helps.
Yeah. So if you think back to like one of the coolest combos you've ever done, or one of the coolest punishes you've ever hit, can you access the feelings there?
Yeah.
Cool. So then as part of the breathing in, while we're holding that breath, we pull from that. We think about that feeling, think about the punish if we have to, Then as we breathe out, we just breathe out the anger. Because, like, it's just, we know that it's, like, we've acknowledged what's happening. Usually it's good, it's cool about, like, disappearing after that. And we've even, and yeah, it just, we clear the mental stack, we put our focus back on the opponent. That would be how I would approach it. Because we're basically just doing a slightly different version of the same processes you're doing in the other set. Just we've added a breath because the feelings and such are at a higher capacity here. So we need to reconnect with our senses to help ground us. But other than that, it's pretty much the same process that you're doing with the other one, where we acknowledge that, hey, like, I really wanted that to hit, but whatever, moving on. Same idea here. The only thing is that we're adjusting it for the higher level of arousal or intensity.
Right.
Does that make sense, or do I sound crazy?
I mean, I think it makes sense. I'm just, my comprehension of it isn't going to be immediate.
Do you want to try it?
Like in some games?
No, like here. Like, if you try to access how you felt, if we like play this VOD out a bit, do you think you'll be able to kind of like get back to that like headspace where you were upset?
I mean, I can, yeah, on a surface level, I can figure it out.
Yeah, so then once we get there, just let me know, and we'll try the exercise, and we'll see how you're feeling after. Is that something that you think it would? Do you think that could work for you, or nah, not really your speed?
No, I mean, I think I can go back and look through and think about, like, okay, what could I have thought of differently than what I actually did think that would have maybe helped keep me grounded.
Yeah, so let's give it a whirl. So remember, we're looking for angry here, like, or whatever you were feeling that day. We're looking to get into that zone. And then you just have to tell me when we're there.
Yeah, I mean, missing that stomp sucked, but at least, like, I kind of got out. And I'm like, okay, I didn't take too much from that. And I'm like, all right, I got back in it.
Yeah, and I bet that's what you're feeling here, because we pointed out that this is actually a stretch where you're playing pretty well. So I think you actually used probably a similar. I bet that's basically how you did it with yourself in this moment. Because I do remember thinking that this stock was well played.
Yeah, that sucks and all, but, like, I can still. It's just one stock.
And then this happens.
Yeah, and then that happens, and it's like, well, that's pretty darn unfortunate. But, like, again, you didn't, like, immediately lose the stock or anything.
Okay.
Like, I should have definitely just waited on the Angel platform once I was down one stock to 3.
That's usually a very good place to do this, for sure. In fact, let's go there. So, if you're angry and kind of like, man, I can't believe this is happening, let's pretend you're still on the Angel platform. Let's try that breathing thing. So do you remember the steps, or do you need me to walk through them?
Walk through them again.
Sure. So, step 1, we breathe in. We acknowledge that we're kind of upset. Maybe even very upset. We want to do better than this. It's okay. So then now as we hold in that breath, then we remember whatever happens, happens. We've been in spots like this before. And we've done some pretty crazy stuff in it. Then we breathe and we, pull from that determination. And then when we breathe out the anger. Yeah, we lock in.
We've done some crazy stuff. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Well, yeah, we're pulling from the punishing, right? Like you said that the big open-ups are kind of one of the things that gives you, like, determination. It's what helps you stay motivated in situations like this, right?
Okay, I see now.
Yeah. So we're linking something positive about the game and something that brings us, joy, determination, anything that helps us stay in it mentally. Yeah, we're pulling from that to just use it as our to use it to kind of like funnel the feeling, I guess, into something more productive.
So can I like rewire my thinking there to be like, if I can just get a good punish or a good stock or something, then I can probably like, make this comeback or something.
I mean, you can. I would just like you could rewire it to my character has packs a lot of firepower. It only takes a few hits to come back. Yeah, something like that. Absolutely. The only thing is we don't want to like hyperfix it. Like the only thing with when we're rewiring thinking in that way, we just want to be careful about not minimizing how much we need. Yeah, because sometimes that, like, depending on how we do it, we can cause ourselves to hyperfixate. Like, the classic example is, all I need is one grab, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that's my only word of caution with that. But yeah, like, I think less specific is better.
Right, yeah. I don't think in terms of I just need one stomp or a forward air or something. Like, I think if I can get something meaty, if I can get something going without taking too much damage, then I can bring this back.
I would even just leave it at if I can get something going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like you've probably won games at like 170 damage before. Like damage doesn't matter in this game. Like it's, you can win at 999 like theoretically, right? So, yeah. But I think that if I can get something going is a great starting point.
True. I also really should. It's so hard to like remember, hey, you should, stay on the angel platform until you fall, like the 5 seconds that you get, like just stand there. Like sometimes it's so hard to remember to do that. And then after the set's done, you're like, dang it, I should have waited on the angel platform.
Okay.
Oh well.
So you have some homework then. The next time you play ranked, unless you're fighting a character who charges up a projectile or like charges up like a power hit like Donkey Kong's punch, Samus's beam, etc. I want you to I want you to stay on the angel platform in those games for at least twice. At least two to four stocks. Think you can do that?
Yes.
Okay. And if you only lose one stock or lose 0 stocks, obviously those don't count. That's fine. But yeah. I think that could be a really good challenge because that's a way to build the habit, and if you do notice yourself getting tilted, that's also a spot where you can try implementing the new approach.
That sounds fair. Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you going to tell yourself when you're on the angel platform before we wrap up?
If I can get a good thing going, then I can make this work.
Yeah, absolutely. And remember, we have to also acknowledge what we're feeling. So when I played in the NES tournament, I got mad for the first time in a very long time. Like really, really bad in tournament because I was playing somebody and like they were playing so lame. And I just was like, oh my goodness, this person is like so ugh. And I said things that I can't repeat here. But it worked. Like allowing myself to just feel how annoyed I was in that moment without it get running away from me. And then being like, okay, but I have I've survived Hungry Box, I will survive him.
Right.
And then just allowing that to take hold, and because yeah, anger flips to determination with a little bit of resolve so easily. But we just have to point it there. So
The pointing part is it's like a rote memorization thing. It's almost like you're taking an exam. You forgot that the question's on the exam, and then you're hit with it, and you're like, "Dang it, I forgot to do this thing."
and like exams, it's a lot easier if you study.
Yeah, well, that's what ranks for. So
Exactly, as
yeah,
well as locals, because at the local
true.
you did great. Like that's the this is annoying. We move on from it is exactly what we want because like and I'm gonna keep drilling this in until it sticks. But like emotions usually just want to be felt. That's what they're there
Mm.
for. So sometimes when if we acknowledge them, if we let them feel a little bit, a lot of times they're way more cooperative when we want to do something afterwards because by acknowledging them, we've taken ownership of them. They're ours. We can do with them what we want.
Maybe I make anger out to be more complex than it actually is.
It's just like all the others. It's just this. It's just warm. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Will you be okay from here? Again, if you have questions or like if this is really giving you a hard time, because this stuff is hard, I am
No,
here to
yeah, I
help.
mean, this is not like I've been playing this game for almost 11 years now. This is not an issue that's ever really gone away. So it's something I feel like I always have to work on. So yeah, it's definitely one that hits more close to home, and it's obviously one of the more uncomfortable things, but it's it's probably one of the most important things that I'd like to work more on and practice and stuff because I feel like if I can just never get mad at the game, then it does become a lot more fun and interesting. But it's like there, like you said, there's that core like issue of avoidance of wanting to not have conflict that I think is part of the problem.
Agreed. Because anger is part of our. So I actually am really grateful for anger. I think that anger is really important because it's a way that we can confront things. And sometimes we need to be able to confront things, right? Like sometimes somebody is like sometimes somebody something is treating us unfairly, it's not treating us well, and we need to be able to stand up for ourselves. And sadness is not very good at doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But anger is. I think that it is okay. Like, we have to be careful to not let anger get like to. We have to be careful to use it responsibly. But it is one of the it is a very important emotion. It's one that we all have for a reason. It would not be here if it didn't have a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And one of its purposes is, the ability for us to stand up for ourselves. When we're having trouble confronting an opponent, it's maybe helpful to remember that.
Yeah, I'll try to work on that.
Sounds like a plan. I will let you go for now, but if you like always, if you have any questions about this one, we've gone over it, so feel free to send them my way. And I get that this one's hard. I struggled with this one for a very long time too. So yeah, I know all the tricks, or at least a good amount of them. Maybe not all of them, but yeah. So I'm around if you get stuck. Okay?
Yeah, I appreciate that.
No problem. Take care, Redman. We'll talk soon.
We'll talk soon.
All right. Bye for now.
Bye bye.